ahead, Judy. Judy.
Village of Wheeling special meeting of the Liquor Control Commission is now called to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Commissioner here.
Here.
Commissioner Hein.
Here.
Commissioner Jarris.
Here.
Commissioner Brady.
Here.
Commissioner Vogel.
Here.
Commissioner Lang.
Here.
Chairperson Abrascata.
Here.
A hearing in the matter of Sri Radhi Krishna Incorporated DBA M&D Pantry, aka Mom and Dad Village Pantry at 11 West Dundee Road.
Good evening. For the record, Stephen Handler, Wheeling Village Prosecutor. We have the petition before the board. I would ask if there are any members of M&D Village Pantry here today.
I'm Mrs. Patel, owner of the M&D Village Pantry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
You are the owner?
Yes, I am.
And are you also a corporate officer?
Yes.
And what is your official title? Are you president or secretary?
I'm president.
Steve, can you have them sworn in too before they testify? Thank you.
Raise your hand, please. You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this house will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes, sir.
Have you had an opportunity to read the petition that was served on you?
Yes, I just did it today.
And you have two choices. You can agree with what's in the petition, or you can disagree with what's in the petition. And if you agree with what's in the petition, you are then pleading guilty to it.
One thing is in there that in the petition.
Could you speak into the mic a little?
Yes, I will.
Please.
The number 10 was not clear to me, so I was just, clarifying with my husband that the name, I was not sure about why it was put it in, and I myself is not clear, so if it is a question, I would like to clear it.
The defendant has apparently raised an issue with paragraph number 10. Would the board be inclined to hold a hearing just on that single point?
No, I don't think so. I think what we want to ascertain now is do they plead guilty or not guilty to the underlying violation of serving a minor, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, we would feel guilty because mistake had been happened, and we continuous, would be watching. And it was unfortunately it happened. Rather than that, I have no saying because yes, it happened, okay. And it was sold by him. We are very, feeling bad, and there is no question for that.
Okay, Ms. Patel, do you know who the secretary of your corporation is?
That's my husband under his name. I saw his name there, so.
He is the secretary.
New secretary, he appointed himself, so our accountant put his name there.
Okay. And can you pronounce his name for the board?
Sailendra, Shailendra B. Patel.
Okay. Good. Proceed, Steve.
Was he the gentleman that served the two minors?
Yes.
And I guess there's really not an issue, I guess, as to number 10.
Okay.
I have nothing further since they've admitted to the violation. since they questioned paragraph 10, but just admitted to it being true and correct. There's nothing else I have.
Do you have any questions from the commissioners? If we have no questions, I need a motion to recess into executive session
So moved.
for the purpose of deliberating the evidence presented at the hearing.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Agiris, second by Commissioner Here. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Here,
Yes.
Commissioner Hein,
Yes.
Commissioner Argyris,
Yes.
Commissioner Brady,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Lang,
Yes.
Chairperson Abrascato.
Yes, the board will go into executive session at 6:40. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So move.
Trustee,
Do I have a motion?
I said so move.
Second.
Commissioner Here, second by Commissioner Agiris. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Here,
Yes.
Commissioner Hein,
Yes.
Commissioner Argyris,
Yes.
Commissioner Brady,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Lang,
Yes.
Chairperson Abrascato.
Yes. The first violation is a $500 fee plus administrative cost. Bassett training for all employees within the next 14 days and proof brought to the village on the Bassett training.
I'll review that with them so that I'm sure they understand.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hein, second by Commissioner Agiris. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Here,
Yes.
Commissioner Hein,
Yes.
Commissioner Argyris.
Yes.
Commissioner Brady,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Lang,
Yes.
Chairperson Abrascato.
Yes. Village of Wheeling regular meeting is now called to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here,
Here.
Trustee Hein,
Yes.
Trustee Argyris,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Here.
Trustee Vogel,
Here.
Trustee Lang,
Here.
President Abrascato.
Here. Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of April 2nd.
So moved.
Motion made by Trustee Brady, second by Trustee Vogel. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here,
Yes.
Trustee Hein,
Yes.
Trustee Argyris,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Trustee Vogel,
Yes.
Trustee Lang,
Abstain.
President Abrascato.
Yes. Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of April 16th,
So moved.
2012.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Agiris, second by Trustee Lang. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here,
Yes.
Trustee Hein,
Yes.
Trustee Argyris,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Trustee Vogel,
Yes.
Trustee Lang,
Yes.
President Abrascato.
Yes. Mr. Fondilis, any changes to the agenda?
No, Madam President.
Thank you.
Okay.
Proclamations.
Okay, Mental Health Month, do more for 1 and 4. Mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being. All Americans experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives. Prevention is an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions. There is a strong body of research that supports specific tools that all Americans can use to better handle challenges and protect their health and well-being. Mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation. With effective treatment, those individuals with mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. Each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizens share this burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. Judy Abiscato, President of the Village of Wheeling, does proclaim May 2012 as Mental Health Month in the Village of Wheeling and calls upon Wheeling citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, of the steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and of the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions.
Thank you.
Senior Celebration Day, May 9th, 2012. Education is a lifelong process. Public education is a community enterprise, and community education philosophy advocates full use of public facilities, programs, and services by every age group in the community. The skills, talents, and experiences of senior citizens are untapped resources in many communities, and intergenerational corporations promote the efficient use of human resources. Community education promotes the use of community resources, community volunteers in schools, senior citizen centers, and community agencies, and maximizes the use of human resources to provide educational opportunities for community residents of all ages. The goal of community education is to promote a sharing, caring, learning community. Senior citizens have earned our respect and recognition for the past accomplishments and their present and future contributions. Senior Celebration Day is co-sponsored by Township High School District 214 Community Education, Arlington Park Racecourse, and the Village of Wheeling to encourage and develop programs and activities to meet the needs of all the residents in High School District 214 and the Village of Wheeling. Judy Abiscato, President of the Village of Wheeling, proclaims May 9, 2012 as a day in recognition of the 24th Annual Senior Celebration Day and calls upon the residents of High School District 214 and the Village of Wheeling to recognize and celebrate the bonds they have discovered, the partnerships they have formed, and the sense of community they have strengthened through community education program.
Thank you.
Peace Officers Memorial Day and National Police Week. The police officers of America have worked devotedly and selflessly on behalf of the people of the nation, regardless of the peril or hazards to themselves. These officers have safeguarded the lives and property of their fellow Americans. By the enforcement of our laws, these same officers have given our country internal freedom from fear of the violence and civil disorder that is presently affecting other nations. Law enforcement officers deserve our appreciation for the work they do, and citizens fulfill an important civic responsibility by supporting their work to protect our communities. By working together, we can achieve a better and more secure future for our children and grandchildren. Established in 1962 by President John F. Kennedy and a joint resolution of Congress, National Police Week pays special tribute to those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty for the safety and protection of others. Also directed that the flag be flown in half-staff on Peace Officers Memorial Day on May 15th of each year. As we observe Peace Officers Memorial Day and National Police Week, we honor the heroism of all our law enforcement officers, especially those who have given their lives so that others might live. They perform their jobs with extraordinary distinctions, and we will always remember their service and sacrifice. Judy Abiscato, President of the Village of Wheeling of Cook and Lake County, does hereby proclaim May 13th through May 19th, 2012 as National Police Week in the Village of Wheeling, and encourage our residents to join us in honoring those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community or have become disabled in the performance of duty. And let us recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes.
Chief Benson. And also, we always remember, and Deputy Chief, I didn't see you over there.
Come up here also, because we do have a picture up on the background here. From this past weekend, Chief Benson and some of our other officers ran in a memorial run. In the center here is Linda Dawson. If you remember, Kenneth R. Dawson was killed back in 1984 November. She also ran in this run. And 1985. So it was quite an experience for these officers out there. Some new, some old. We had some of the wives of the officers up there, and it was quite a time. So. You know, in remembrance of those officers. And I didn't tell Chief Benson I was going to put this up there, but it was quite an event for these officers to see Linda Dawson there and to participate in something that was so tragic, yet to benefit the Law Officers Memorial. So.
If anybody doesn't know what the
Thank you.
CRD 123 in our patches, it is for Ken
Kenneth Richard Dawson, and star number 123, which has since been retired. Thank you, President.
Thank you.
Public Works Creating a Lasting Impression, National Public Work Weeks, May 20th to May 26th, 2012. Public work services provided in our community play an integral part of our citizens' everyday lives. The support of an understanding and informed citizenry is critical to the efficient operation of a public works organization and the daily maintenance of its infrastructure facilities such as water distribution, storm and sanitary sewers, streets, urban forestry, parks, fleet maintenance of public vehicles, public buildings. The health, safety, comfort, and quality of life depends on these facilities and services, especially in times of flooding, snow and ice control, water distribution for fire protection, etc. The quality of effectiveness of these facilities, as well as their planning, design, construction, and operation, is vitally dependent upon the dedicated efforts and skills of public works professionals. The devoted staff of the Village of Wheeling's Public Works Department are on duty 365 days a year for any emergency that may arise day or night, be it through the fury of Mother Nature or failure in the infrastructure facilities themselves. It is important for the residents of our village to recognize the commitment and work performed by qualified and dedicated personnel who staff the Village Public Works Department. National Public Works Weeks proclaim the importance of our community's truly unsung everyday heroes, both men and women. They're professionals who serve the public good every day with hushed devotion. This year marks the 52nd anniversary of National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Judy Abiscato, President of the Village of Wheeling, does hereby proclaim May 20th through May 26, 2012 as National Public Works Week in the Village of Wheeling, and calls upon all citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing our public services and to recognize the contributions which public works departments and their employees make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life.
And Mr. Stavros, we have a short video, I understand, also?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. You're like the post office, rain, snow, sleet, you're always there. And I'm going to combine that with all the firemen, all the police, all the safety and security that we have in this village is phenomenal because of all that work together. And now we have the short video, Mr. Stavros.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we do have a short video. I believe it's probably, if you were here last year, you saw part of it. The APWA tries to put a video out at least every other year to talk about public works. I'd like to also acknowledge tonight some of our staff. Tim Merrihew, my capital projects manager, Tim. Chuck Spratt, our fleet superintendent, Chuck. Mike Bleefreneck, our buildings service superintendent. Lori Hazelwood, streets and forestry. Jeff Wolfgram, my utility superintendent. I also have maintenance operators Louis Magana, Dustin Chernoff, Johnny Perez, and Ty Johnson. Please stand up. Thank you. And I'd like to thank the rest of our employees who were unable to make it this evening. Like I say, this is a short video. I think it runs about 4 minutes. It kind of tells you what Public Works really does.
Thank you.
In our world, they don't come around every day. Except that is in the world of public works. The average person on the street may have no idea of the role public works plays in our lives. But the fact is, we rely on public works for just about everything we do.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say public works?
Water.
Water.
Everything is wrapped around water.
The water system may be the most important infrastructure system serving your community. The intricate piping and pressure system requires constant management and maintenance to provide potable water for the people and fire protection for the community. Do you know where that water comes from?
You know, I'm not sure.
Before we can consume water, it has to be treated to remove bacteria and other organisms that are harmful to people. Generating enough clean water to meet the demands in the community requires a system that utilizes principles of engineering, biology, and hydraulics.
Anything related to water.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do sewage treatment and replacement.
I guess this first thing is the sewer.
We have a tendency to take our sewage systems for granted. You know, it's easy to joke about street maintenance, but few people really understand what it takes to maintain our roadways.
Various materials and techniques have to be applied to repair surfaces.
There are hot patches, cold patches, overlays, chip seals, crack sealing, and of course, good old pothole repairs.
Sound like a busy group of people?
Public works and engineering are intertwined. The concepts, principles, design, and development of the systems that our communities run on is the domain of engineers. Behind every road, traffic signal, water pipe, and stormwater inlet is a system designed by engineers.
I think it's important to have someone whose, job and sort of career is to make sure they're there when people need them.
Public Works' role in emergency management coordination, planning, and operations is something that is often overlooked.
You really feel better knowing that there might be a plan in effect if something does happen. If they have a plan, and it usually works quite well.
Flooding can be a minor inconvenience or a major hazard to life and property. Public Works is responsible for the various elements of a community's stormwater system. Public Works departments are often responsible for maintaining roadside medians and sometimes even parkland. In addition to mowing, they might be responsible for items located in the public right-of-way, such as sprinkler systems, road or signal poles, and signs. To keep a community maintained, Public Works utilizes a significant fleet of vehicles and equipment that serve a wide variety of maintenance functions. Public facilities such as city halls, public safety facilities, and community centers often fall under the responsibility of the Public Works Department. The interior as well as the exterior of these facilities must be maintained. Public Works is also involved in the behind-the-scenes work at public events. What would you say if I said the words Public Works to you?
Public Works.
Oh. Road.
The guy that fills in the potholes.
Trash removal.
Snow removal?
Do you have any idea what Public Works, what other things Public Works does for you?
Street lights, street signs, stop signs.
Do you kind of take them for granted like the rest of us?
No.
Are you mayor?
No, but my husband used to be a public works director.
Is that right? It's actually Public Works.
Is it really?
Yeah. Do you think maybe the Public Works are pretty valuable to us?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Take care of you?
Absolutely.
So that's all Public Works.
Public Works. Public Works. Everyday heroes.
I would be remiss if I didn't introduce my right hand, Christine Bajer. She's our Assistant Director of Public Works, and without her, there's a lot of work that she does that I wouldn't be getting done. So, Christine.
Clerk Simpson,
Oh, there's one more, yeah.
one more.
Quick Getter Ticket, May 21st to June 3rd, 2012. The safety and security of the residents of the Village of Wheeling and surrounding areas are vitally important. A large percentage of our residents regularly drive or ride in motor vehicles on our roadways. The use of seat belts in passenger vehicles saved an estimated 12,546 lives in 2010. Regular seatbelt use is the single most effective way to protect people and to reduce fatalities in motor vehicle crashes. The use of seatbelts is supported by the laws of the State of Illinois and the Village of Wheeling. May 21st through June 3rd, 2012 has been selected as the National Click It or Ticket Mobilization Enforcement Period. Across the country, law enforcement officers will actively be participating in the mobilization to ensure all motor vehicle occupants are buckled up day and night to reduce the risk of injury and death caused in traffic crashes. Increased enforcement of seatbelt laws coupled with publicity has proven to be an effective method to increase seatbelt use rates and decrease fatal crashes. Judy Abiscato, President of the Village of Wheeling, does hereby proclaim May 23rd to June 5th, 2012 as the Click It or Ticket mobilization in the Village of Wheeling and urges all residents to always wear seatbelts when driving or riding on our roadways.
Chief? Just a reminder to click it or ticket. We have the pleasure to do reappointment of commissioners this evening. I would ask for your approval. The reappointment of Mike Moran of the Board of Police, Fire and Police Commission. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second. Motion made by Trustee Agiris, second by
Brady. Brady.
Trustee Brady. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Argyris?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Abiscato?
Yes. And Mike Moran, who's been on the board of the Police and Fire, is here this evening, so we thank you again for accepting this position. Thank you. Do I have a motion for the reappointment of Alfred Hem?
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Trustee Lang, second by Trustee Here. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Argyris?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Abiscato?
Yes. And our final reappointment is for Bill Simpson to the Board of Fire and Police Commission. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Motion made by
Second.
Trustee Agiris, second by Trustee Hein. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Argyris?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Abiscato?
Yes. It's always a privilege when we can reappoint or even appoint new to the commissions. The commissions are the labor of love for us. It makes our life a little easier and it makes the police and the fire. So we thank you very much for all your hard work, and we'll continue to go forward with our meeting as of now. We have citizens' concerns and comments.
Members of the general public may address the board with concerns or comments regarding relevant issues. The person submitting a petition, concern, or other comment shall be allotted 5 minutes to present their points. Mr. Stylen.
Thank you. Terry Stylen from Briarwood Drive. I just want to say last Tuesday I received a phone call from the village, and it was about a gentleman who lived behind me that was evidently lost wandering around the neighborhood. I grabbed my flashlight, my wife went out driving, and we met a number of other neighbors who were out at almost 10 o'clock at night looking for this gentleman. I hope that he was found, but the technology that you use to notify, the neighbors in the area, he lived directly behind my house. It was nice to have that capability available, and if something ever happened to me or my wife, I hope that that technology would be used, because you get a lot more eyes and ears out on the street looking for people that are lost. So I just wanted to say thank you for using that system. It's a great technology. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Staff report, Public Works Director Stavros.
Thank you. Due to the landfill ban on electronics that came into effect January 1st, 2012, Public Works is reminding residents that the village will be hosting a one-day computer electronics recycling event on Saturday, May 19th at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. only. Public Works is located at 77 West Hance Road. Acceptable items include televisions, cable receivers, computers, including tablets, digital converter boxes, DVD players, recorders, VCR, computer mice, computer keyboards, fax machines, computer monitors, printers, satellite receivers, scanners, small-scale servers, video games, and consoles. For additional information, please call Public Works at 847-279-6903.
Thank you.
Additionally, as part of the village's preventative maintenance program and to remove particular matter and corrosion from the water main system, the village last week and will continue this week to be flushing hydrants until May 14th between the hours of 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. Signs will be posted throughout the village while hydrant flushing is being performed. During this time, residents may notice a slightly lower water pressure and discoloration of the water. However, the water is completely safe to drink. Residents are advised to check the color of the water before beginning laundry of it for any discoloration. Should you have any concerns regarding the hydrant flushing program, please contact Public Works at 279-6900. Thank you.
And the Dundee Road Bridge resurfacing update, do you have anything on that?
It is tentatively scheduled, if the weather stays dry, I believe, towards the end of the week. If not, it'll be the first part of next week. They have to do the grinding yet, and then they'll lay down the overlay on it.
Thank you.
Sure.
And our Business Developer Coordinator, Drew Garcia, concerning the Wheeling International Fest. We'll take the whole team up here.
It's a group effort here. So first of all, thank you for giving us the opportunity to share our plan for International Fest 2012. My name is Elise Bombasino. I'm with Ripple Public Relations, and we are the event coordinator. This is a group effort with the Village of Wheeling, the Wheeling Park District, the Wheeling Prospect Heights Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Korean Cultural Center of Chicago. And if I may just introduce the team here, Marcy Manning is a Wheeling resident and with Ripple Public Relations. We have Mr. Moon Lim, who is the event chair for the Korean Cultural Center. Mr. Sujay Lee, who is a senior advisor with the Korean Cultural Center of Chicago. Ms. Kathy Powers, who you probably all know, is the executive director for the Wheeling Prospect Heights Area Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And then Drew Garcia, the business development coordinator for the Village of Wheeling's Department of Economic Development. And really quickly, in honor of the Korean Cultural Center of Chicago's one-year anniversary in Wheeling, they have partnered with us, and we will be hosting a public event of cultural diversity that is available in the Village of Wheeling. We will be having it on the beautiful campus of the Korean Cultural Center on Saturday, June 23rd from 11 to 6. It is a tented event. It will go on rain or shine. We will have some 30 vendors that will represent all different types of foods and beverages and wares from their countries. We also have a full day of entertainment from all different cultures that will be performing music, dance. The Korean Cultural Center will be open for tours of the gallery and the museum. And we want to invite you and everybody throughout the community to come all day long to this free event. We will have an opening ceremony with dignitaries coming from around the area at noon. So we strongly advise you or hope that you would join us for that. And aside from that, we've got some wonderful sponsors already. There's our save the date right up there. We have information on the event available on the Wheeling website at wheelingil.gov. Or if anybody's interested in being a sponsor, if you know anybody that's interested in being a vendor at the event or participating, we're always looking for volunteers. They can either contact me Elise Bombasino. I am at 847-432-6000, or visit the website for further information. Anything to add? All right, we're excited and we hope that it's a wonderful event.
We look forward to that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming this evening also.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go into the consent agenda, the gentleman that Mr. Stylen brought up was found.
Okay. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered after all other regular agenda items.
So moved.
Motion made by Trustee Agiris, second by Trustee Vogel. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Agiris?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Avascado?
Yes. Old business, we have new business. All items listed for discussion and possible action.
Public hearing and resolution regarding a 6B incentive for 2039 Foster Avenue, Unit 2. The public hearing needs to be open.
We will now open the public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak?
We need to open it with a vote.
We need to vote. That's correct. I always forget that. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Trustee Agiris, second by Trustee Vogel. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Agiris?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Avascado?
Yes. The public hearing is now open, and you are?
I'm Anthony Oakes, representing the owner of the property, looking to obtain the 6B tax incentive on 2039 Foster Avenue, Unit 2. The property has been vacant for almost 4 years, and the owner has done a considerable amount of work trying to get a new tenant in. They have just found a tenant looking to expand its business onto the unit, and in the efforts of 6B, the owner would like to obtain municipal resolution supporting it.
Thank you. Do we have any other comments from the audience? If not, I will close the public hearing. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Trustee Vogel, second by
Brady.
Trustee Brady. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Agiris?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Avascado? Item 13A2, resolution indicating municipal approval of a Cook County Real Estate Class 6B status for certain real estate located at 2039 Foster Avenue, Unit 2 in the Village of Wheeling.
Our Economic Development Director, please.
Thank you. Just additional background to the applicant's attorney's introduction. The subject property is at 2039 Foster Avenue. It's approximately 30,000 square foot building, a 3-unit condo, currently partially occupied by a company called Badger Molding, which is a company that is certainly currently seeking additional space to support its growing business. They have identified the neighboring unit. It's a 10,000 square foot unit, which is the subject property, unit number 2. Is a potential expansion location. And this is another situation where, because the property has been vacant for a 4-year period, the assessor's office has reclassified it under their vacancy rules, which makes this actually fiscally neutral, slightly positive to have the unit occupied, even with the 6B incentive.
Do we have any questions?
I do.
Trustee Agiris?
Can you explain to us what improvements the owner has done to that property?
Previously, he made renovations to general maintenance, the bathroom, new carpeting, all efforts of trying to entice a new tenant onto the property.
I'll be honest with you, the thing that kind of disturbs me, and we've done a lot of 6Bs, and those that we've granted have done huge improvements to properties, additions, in most cases additions. and brought new tenants in or expanded existing businesses. I think we're setting a bad precedent here for any vacant property in the industrial park that's vacant because they have a tenant to come in here with 6B so they can lower taxes. He's already done that on his own because it's been vacant for the last couple of years. They got it reassessed through the assessor's office. To do this, I really don't see the need here. I really don't.
The concern from my client is that the current tenant, the current abutting one, not who's currently at Unit 2, will move on somewhere else outside of the Village of Wheeling to try to get out of Cook County in an effort to lower its taxes, because it does look to expand, and the current negotiations for the lease are contingent on obtaining a 6B.
And reading our report, we're looking at an additional maybe 15 employees over a non-committed period of time. What does that mean? Maybe?
Well, if it helps, the current tenant, in anticipation of expansion, purchased a number of machines that, in order to expand the business. In an effort to, what will be needed is more employees to run the machines. The Badger Molding is a plastic manufacturer. More employees will be needed. The reason why the machines were purchased to begin with is because they have high hopes that the business will succeed and more employees will be hired.
Has there been a lease of expansion from the tenant next door to the vacant spot?
A lease has not been created yet, no.
Okay. And our deadline, Mr. Ferrillo, on getting 6Bs into the county is when? Isn't it the end of the year? Or
it would be
in a calendar year.
At the end of this calendar year. We've got time.
So we have
to
time.
consider this.
May I interject? I'm sorry. When I say the lease has not been created, it's not been executed. It could be executed as of tomorrow. What they are looking for is the municipal resolution before Badger Molding decides to sign on.
Well, I would hate to give a 6B on this particular site without a firm commitment or a written lease, because then that 6B would stay with this. And this guy can go out there and get new tenants tomorrow if the deal doesn't go through with his proposed tenant.
I assure you that the negotiations between them has been solely specifically on the 6B, and if a 6B is granted, even subsequently a lease will be executed.
Okay, let me ask our attorney this. Yes. Can we make a motion subject and a condition subject to this particular expansion of who they're negotiating a lease with for the 6B to go through versus just giving a clear-cut 6B and not following through if there is a lease being executed?
Well, here's the question there. A lease contains a lot of information, a time frame. I mean, it would make some sense to me to see the lease, to see that you're comfortable with the time frame on the lease, et cetera. I mean, we can amend this resolution by motion to add the condition and then vote tonight. We can do that, but you've got to be real careful to hit on all the conditions you're concerned about.
And the other condition I have, Jim, and correct me if I'm wrong, we've seen this in the past, where if we've had somebody come in here, it's the actual tenant, or not just the owner of the site, but the actual tenant, the business owner, they're looking to expand, looking to make improvements, looking at an investment into that site. You stated equipment, huge equipment, and possibly 20 new jobs. I like to see that person. I like to see what their game plan is.
That has been our practice.
That has been our practice. And if anybody else doesn't have any questions, I think this is a good time to table that till you guys get the parties before us, maybe, so we can see what their intentions are before we rubber stamp a 6B on that site.
Well, are you asking to present the new tenants to come up to the Village of Wheeling? The Badger Molding has information available on their website about what they do, about where they're currently at, and I think that should be.
You know what? I'm just one here. I know how many we've done, and there's been tens or probably a few hundred in the last 10 years that we've done. And I've always had people come before this board and be excited about what they're doing and their commitment to the community and staying in the community. And no offense to you, Counselor, but to send you here on behalf of two different parties based on what? That's what I'm saying. What's the improvement? What are you doing?
Well, the improvement is for the current tenant to stay and to allow his business to prosper in the village of Wheeling. That's what they want to do. Okay. I understand your concern where you would like to see who the new tenant is and see his excitement. I'm just me here today.
I understand.
I can't do that.
But I think we're setting a precedent with every vacant industrial or commercial site in the community, or the industrial site in the community.
Unfortunately, I mean, this is what the 6B is for. We want to create employment.
Totally agree with you. Believe me.
And that's what they want. And I understand.
Totally agree with you.
And the property has been vacant for a lot longer than what the bulletin requires. And it's very unfortunate because the property has continued to not be utilized, and now we have an opportunity for the property to be utilized with a business that's already succeeding and looking to expand. It would be a shame for them to have to move.
I understand.
Right.
But I hate to give a 6B on a site with no guarantees that they are going to move. Something can happen within the lease that Badger doesn't like or your client doesn't like, and the deal goes dead, and now all of a sudden we're imposing a 6B to that site. There's nothing concrete here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're not going to do it. I mean, I'm in favor of doing it, but...
Need to read the lease.
Right. I got to know there's somebody real there going there.
I mean, unfortunately, as proof to the current tenants want to stay, but also wanting to obtain a 6B, their negotiations have been contingent on the municipal resolution. So it's kind of, I understand your point of view, but in that logic, it kind of goes circular.
Well, why wouldn't you come here with a signed lease contingent upon the 6B, rather than put it on this board to take the leap of faith? Yeah, you follow me there?
I follow you.
Right.
I understand. Unfortunately, I can't answer that.
Understood.
I wish I could. But the negotiations have been between the parties. We have not been a part of those negotiations. We've just been a part of contacting the tenant, contacting the owner, getting updates, and be able to present all the information we can to this municipal board.
Well, and maybe that's the message you should take back to them tonight, is come before us
with a lease.
With a lease.
Subject.
And then we can go forward.
And Trustee Hein?
Thank you. I need a little bit of clarification here, okay? I'm looking at your plat of survey here and your the colored survey showing units 1, 2, and 3. And you so note that unit 2 does not have an exterior dock loading facility, okay? I would think that would be a primary item that you would have in an industrial unit, is to be able to unload and offload product coming in, and it's got to be a tremendous seal feature. And here you've had a piece of property been up for sale for 2 years, when if somebody were to buy that, they would not have access to that building with a trucking ramp. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. And
why didn't you put one in?
It has not been financially possible for the owner to put one in.
Oh,
the original.
If you would just take out the 2 parking places that you have on the south end of the building over there and put in an overhead door, you would have more than ample room to put one of these in.
It was the initial plan to do that. It wasn't the necessarily feasibility of doing it. It was the owner, frankly, told me didn't have the money to do it. And
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. And what would be great with the current situation, when we have a current tenant in a budding building, both problems get solved. The need for a ramp and the inability to create a new one. With the current layout there, the current tenant has a dock and can utilize the extra space in the unit that we are looking to obtain the 6B for.
Also, I totally disagree with you. If you're spending that kind of money to market a piece of property and you're not putting your best foot forward with a loading dock and that type of thing, you're just spinning your wheels. I know that this whole entire building is for sale. Is that correct?
I'm unaware if the whole entire building is for sale. No, I do not think so.
Is Grubb and Ellis got the contract on this to sell this building?
Grubb and Ellis is, all I know is with Unit 2, that they have the contract to broker that unit.
Because I picked up a sales contract information off of the internet, and it says that the property is for sale for $890,000. Is that correct?
Like, I'm unaware of anything beyond the Unit 2.
Okay. Well, I do have that here that came off of the internet, commercial sites for sale. Property has 3 condos for sale. The size of the sale condos range from 5,000 to 10,000 feet. Free space are also available, and they listed different amenities. I don't know if this is still in effect, but I think this item should be tabled, or it should be defeated because of the fact that this is something that we should not be doing with 6B money. This piece of property could have been sold probably a long time ago if it had all the amenities that are needed to sell this kind of property. Thank you.
With the questions and statements that have come up, I'd like to get the consensus of the board if they would like to table this.
There's a motion.
I'd like to make a motion we table, please.
Motion made by trustee
Second.
Hines, second by trustee Vogel. Roll call, please.
Okay, trustee here,
Yes.
trustee Hein,
Yes.
trustee Argyris.
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Vogel,
Yes.
trustee Lang,
Yes.
President Avascado.
Trustee here.
Trustee here.
I
Said
went
what?
first. I said yes.
Pardon?
I didn't
He
hear
went
it,
first.
that's why.
Okay, yeah, he said it first.
Yes, we're going to table this motion and we will contact.
Great. Thank you very much. I
Concerning
appreciate
it.
it.
Thank you.
Ordinance 13B, repealing ordinance 4210 and 4618 and granting special use approval for a waste transfer station, contractor storage yard, CNG fueling station, and heavy motor vehicle repair facility at 200, 230, 260, 350, and 360 Sumac Road and 225 Industrial Lane, docket number 2012-4.
Mr. Janik, please.
Good evening. The petitioners are here tonight requesting approval of a special use on their property. Waste Management currently operates and owns approximately 10 acres of land between Sumac and Industrial Lane in the south part of the village. They currently have a special use for their property. They have recently purchased an additional piece of property at the southwest corner of their property, and they are looking to operate on that property with a vehicle repair, their own vehicle repair. In so doing, the staff is suggesting that they revoke the previous special uses that they have for compressed natural gas operation, as well as their waste transfer station and contractor storage yard, and reapprove a special use which will include those uses, as well as the new property which has vehicle repair.
Thank you. Do we have any questions?
I do.
Trustee Argyris.
What would happen with the site regarding the CNG? Is the site and the way they're presenting it
The entire
able
site
to open up to the public if we were able to work out something with the CNG?
This has nothing, well, you would be reapproving the CNG on their property, but this has nothing to do with the CNG being open to the public or anything else.
Could it?
Oh, could it? This particular special use, no. This would reinforce the previous special use for the CNG, which would only allow them to provide CNG to their vehicles or vehicles that are in association with their business.
But we've been talking about this. Could it come back to us, amend the special use to allow it for the public if they were...
They have access.
They would have to come back to us and
I understand, but could the site be utilized to do that? Or would it be other issues?
Trustee Argyris, I think there's two concerns. One is a safety concern as to how the facility is built, and I think we can look into that and have an answer from our public safety departments. And two is the willingness of the owner of the facility to want to open it up to the public, which I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, but
It's my understanding that Waste Management in other communities, other states have been very open to that. I was hoping they would be open to us.
Good evening, Mayor and trustees.
Thanks.
My name is Paul Bucum. I'm here on behalf of Waste Management this evening, along with Mr. Tom Mazinga, who runs the facility in Wheeling. When this issue originally came up about a year and a half ago and was approved at that time for a special use, there is limited availability to other parties that contract with Waste Management and are then submitted to the village. So there is some third-party very limited third-party use. But at that time, it was understanding that the village didn't want it open to the general public.
The village didn't?
That was our understanding at the time. I believe that's correct.
That's correct. At the time, in fact, we prohibited any public use of that facility.
But we're ongoing having talks with them, are we not?
With Waste Management?
Haven't we?
No.
With staff and that, according to your report, you have.
We had a conversation with them, Trustee Argyris. The site was never built or designed for public access. The special use does allow for an industrial use of their fueling facility with common-minded Class B licensed vehicles, and they are in fact able to use that site as such right now. But it was never set up for the intermixing of small vehicles and large vehicles on that site, and that was part of the condition laid out as the special use.
And the site that we're talking about now that they currently purchased not too long ago, is that the site you're talking about?
Negative. They're not doing anything with the compressed natural gas loading facility.
On that new site? It's an existing site.
The site you're discussing tonight is a maintenance facility for maintaining their compressed natural gas vehicles, the garage at the end. All you're doing under this special use and consolidating all of their various special uses into one special use.
Trustee Hein?
Thank you. It seems like we're looking at a major situation over here on Sumac, and we're talking about 200 Sumac Drive. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and that is a newly acquired building that you have to right next to the airport, more or less. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. I was over there today and yesterday and everything, and I know you're at the end of the airport. Not too many people go that way, but I, for one, feel that we're trying to do something in that area that's to make this area an airport-type use. And I know you've got a lot of property over there, and but for the like of me, I can't figure out why you folks want to sink that kind of money into that building. I would have prayed for just a little bit of higher wind the other day, and that thing would have been gone. I'm very concerned about an open yard for repairing heavy-duty trucks and the amount of trucks that you're going to be servicing over there. And I also know that you are doing some of that work now in your present location. The question I have, and I don't know if anybody here can answer that, is exactly how much work are you going to be doing? And are you going to be bringing in vehicles from some of your other facilities to having them repaired here? That's my question.
The only vehicles that will be repaired are the ones currently being repaired on the industrial lane property, and those those vehicles will be moved over to the Sumac property. So it will take traffic off of industrial and bring it over to Sumac, which is a privately maintained road as opposed to a municipally maintained road. But there won't be additional trucks that will come because of the relocation to Sumac.
Okay. I also have a little concern about the amount of landscaping that's going to be done there. And because all your properties are very much in order, I think you should be looking at some type of a landscaping plan that can be incorporated in all your properties to make everything look more uniform. Right now, it looks kind of hodgepodge. You got some stuff that was done very nicely in the first building to the east, and then it goes on and you threw some grass in there and that type of thing. But I'm looking for a much better landscaping plan than that you have there.
Well, we had submitted a landscaping plan. I don't know if Mr. Janik has seen it, but we have submitted a landscaping plan that will make it consistent with the rest of the property on the rest of the waste management property on Sumac, so that it will be similar in terms of the bushes and shrubs.
Thank you. That's all I have right now.
Do you have any other questions? Trustee Brady.
Thank you. What are you going to do with the piece of property on Industrial then?
The piece of property on Industrial would remain a repair facility for the front-end loader. As it mentions, I believe in the report, the front-end loader is an extremely heavy vehicle that we cannot move down the street without tearing it up. But there is a concrete field between the transfer station and the property at Industrial, so it will have a very limited use, but it would continue just to be for that purpose, for that front-end.
So you're going to keep it and still use it as a maintenance facility?
Correct. Yeah, for that limited purpose.
Is there going to be, between your transfer station, the fueling station, and now this repair area, is there going to be cross-access between the inside of them, or is each one going to have its own separate entrance and no traffic can move in between?
No, there is cross-access between, which will keep some traffic off the streets as well, because it will occur internally on the property.
Well, you know, several years ago, amidst a flurry of complaints, you guys kind of really, spruced yourself up there, and it's been looking good. And I hope that if this goes through and you get the right to go ahead and build this, that you'll continue that even more so, because that airport is one of our star attractions here in Wheeling, and we like to keep it, especially along there with the corporate hangars and everything else. It's important that you maintain your exterior decor in a nice manner, the way it looks now. So I hope you keep that up. And okay, that's it. Thank you.
Trustee Lang.
Thank you. Well, the verbiage of contractor storage yard kind of frightened me a little bit in that area because it is so close to some of the nicer hangars in the airport. But in this case, it does look, I'm looking at one of your landscaping plans, and it does look like you're using the same fencing and all that to tighten it up. And it is far enough off of Milwaukee Avenue where it is not visible at all.
Thank you.
And Trustee Vogel.
I had some of the same questions Trustee Adjuris had, and for clarification purposes, I didn't think that one question ever got answered. It's very simple. If you decide to open the fueling station to the public, with this reconfiguration, will it easily be accessed by the public?
Well, just so we're not reconfiguring the CNG facility, that would be the same. The way the ordinance is written now.
Okay, ignore the way the ordinance is written now. Look into the future. Okay, we may have a need for that fueling station. Okay, is it accessible to the public with this?
To the public in terms of commercial public vehicles, or you were talking about residential?
Residential. And would it be something you'd consider in the future?
Tom Mazegat, Senior Manager of Market Planning for Waste Management. Currently, the CNG is available to any pre-approved company or municipality to utilize. That's the way the ordinance is written, and we have to keep documents and documentation and training of each one of those persons. Was the desire of the village at that time.
I understand that.
It could be opened up, and it would have
be
no effect on anything.
Okay, thank you.
But the village is telling you they don't want it. Is that correct?
That's what was told us originally. And we just opened one up at that time. That's open for everyone.
Yes, to be clear, at that time.
But now we're discussing. Is that correct?
If the desire of the board is to open a public station at that site, then certainly staff isn't going to stand in the way.
We're willing to do it.
Well, according to your memos, you're talking with these guys. I got it here. I got it Thursday.
Correct.
It's ongoing, the status on this.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Staff would not stand in the way of, if that's the desire of the board.
We've been talking about it for months, that's all I'm saying.
Well, but the board has not given direction. If we could get a consent.
The board is waiting for direction from you guys on what you were able to accomplish or come back to us with. That's all. John?
If I may add, we have turned down numerous requests for single people to utilize with their own cars. We have a couple car lots that sell Hondas, and as they sell them, they tell them where they can buy the fuel, obviously. And they come over and they're kind of surprised they can't get it from us. We have no problems opening up to the public, I mean.
Good. Thank you.
Trustee Hein.
I pulled in there today by your facility over there, and it was very easily negotiated. And there was a couple trucks coming out and in and out and everything. And I would have had no problem fueling up my vehicle over there. So it might be beneficial to everybody if we were to open something like that up. It worked out pretty good.
I think it's a good spot.
It looks very nice, by the way.
Thank you. Where gas stations are.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions? If not, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Lang,
Second.
second by Trustee Brady. Roll call, please.
Trustee here?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Argyris?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Evans-Cotto?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Item 13C, ordinance repealing ordinance number 3213 and granting special use and site plan approval for a restaurant at 241 South Milwaukee Avenue, docket number PC 12-15.
Mr. Janik.
This document is relative to a building on Milwaukee Avenue that was previously owned and operated as a Hackney's restaurant. Again, this legislation that's being proposed tonight, it combines previous special use approvals, and we're updating the legislation relative to the new use, which is also a restaurant for D'Agostino's. The opening of this restaurant is expected to be sometime in July. I'm hoping. I was in there last week. They're reframing the entire pretty much the entire building, at least the first floor, new electric, new machinery, that sort of thing. They're also updating the patio at the rear, and they're also locating a new, smaller patio along Milwaukee Avenue. They're replacing some windows. They're doing some roofing. So although this didn't really require a public hearing at the board, because we're redoing the special use, it's before you tonight for approval.
Do you have any questions?
So moved.
Motion made by
Second.
Trustee Adgiris, second by Trustee Vogel. Roll call, please.
Trustee here?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Argyris?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Evans-Cotto?
Yes.
Item 13D, repealing ordinance number 4438 and granting a special use and site plan approval for a daycare center at 710 South Milwaukee Avenue within the Elms, docket number 2012-6.
Mr. Janik.
This is a use on South Milwaukee Avenue. It was previously approved as a specialty school. The petitioner is requesting that the special use be changed from specialty school to commercial daycare. Because of this change, the petitioner needs to and will be creating a play area, an outdoor play area, in association with this use on the same property. There's one condition that was requested by the petitioner. It's a request that if there's another expansion, that they would not be required to come back to you for another special use or an update to the special use. I would suggest as well in discussion with the village attorney that condition not be part of the approval if you so approve this.
Question on that. Wouldn't it be, if they had an expansion, wouldn't it just be an amendment to the site plan?
No, it would actually be any expansion of a special use, space-wise, typically requires a new special use. The request for this is because they don't want to go back through public hearing process and go through.
Okay, that makes sense. So move with the condition not being granted.
Second.
Motion by trustee Agiris, second by trustee Lang. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here,
Yes.
trustee Hein,
Yes.
trustee Argyris,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Vogel,
Yes.
trustee Lang,
Yes.
President Abiscato.
Yes.
Item 13E has two resolutions regarding the insurance of bonds. Resolution 1, authorizing the Director of Finance to execute an engagement letter with Chapman and Cutler for bond counsel services related to general obligation sales tax refunding bonds Series 2012A and general obligation bonds Series 2012B.
Mr. Monashane.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'm going to discuss all three of these items together. As we discussed back on April 16th, the village sold bonds this morning, two series of bonds. The 2012A bonds were intended to refund the village's existing 2005 general obligation bonds, and the 2012B bonds, which was for new money to pay for the village's water meter replacement program. As I said, those bond sales took place this morning. They were very successful. The refunding bonds sold at an interest rate of 2.4% and produced total savings of $197,000 or $167,000 on a present value basis. And the $3.5 million in Series 2012B bonds sold at an interest rate of 3.23%. So both very favorable interest rates. Tonight, Kevin McCanna from Spear Financial, who's the village's financial advisor, is here to answer any questions you might have.
Do we have any questions?
So move.
Mr. Fondilis.
Can I just add something? Michael, what was the expectation on the bond sale and versus what the actual savings will be?
What we reported to you a couple weeks ago on the refunding bonds was we expected savings of $150,000. So at $167,000, we did a little bit better than expected.
Thank you.
We have a motion by trustee Agiris.
Second.
Second by trustee Lang. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here,
Yes.
trustee Hein,
Yes.
trustee Argyris,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Vogel,
Yes.
trustee Lang,
Yes.
President Abiscato.
Yes.
Item 13E2, ordinance providing for the issuance of $4,110,000 general obligation sales tax refunding bond Series 2012A of the Village of Wheeling, Cook and Lake Counties, Illinois, authorizing the execution of an escrow agreement in connection therewith and providing for the levy and collection of a direct annual tax for the payment of the principal of and interest on said bonds.
So moved.
Motion made by trustee Brady.
Second.
Second by trustee Lang. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here,
Yes.
trustee Hein,
Yes.
trustee Argyris.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Vogel.
Yes.
Trustee Lang.
Yes.
President Abiscato.
Yes.
Item 13E, ordinance providing for the issuance of $3,500,000 general obligation water system bonds Series 2012B of the Village of Wheeling, Cook and Lake Counties, Illinois, and providing for the levy and collection of a direct annual tax for the payment of the principal of and the interest of said bonds.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by trustee Lang, second by trustee Agiris. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here,
Yes.
trustee Hein,
Yes.
trustee Argyris,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Vogel,
Yes.
trustee Lang,
Yes.
President Abiscato.
Yes. Official communication, Mr. Fondilis.
Thank you, Madam President. I wanted to take the opportunity to advertise some packets that you may have received from Integris and the Village of Wheeling as part of our electric aggregation initiative. The packets were mailed on Friday afternoon. I've heard that some of them were received as recently as this afternoon. Wanted to let everyone know so that everyone understood exactly what was happening. Again, you're going to receive an envelope. that comes with the village's logo on it. It says explicitly change to electric supplier. We did that specifically so that everyone took the letter seriously. I know you've all been bombarded with different companies offering different packages for electric savings, so we wanted to make sure that everyone paid attention and opened the envelopes. So it does come with the village's logo on it, although the material is coming from our new supplier, which again is named Integris. Inside that packet you will find the official intention to opt out. Again, everyone is in and part of the program and will start receiving savings in their June bill. The Village of Wheeling and the Village of Palatine were able to get an extra month of savings. So starting with your June bill, you should notice a substantial savings. 42% is the expectation on the supply side. That again will only need to be, the only action that needs to be taken is if you choose to opt out of the program. This is a postcard. You'll have to put a stamp on it and send it back to Integris if you choose to opt out. Again, included in the packet are two other things. One, very important, it's an announcement that you will receive a letter from ComEd. The reason this is included in the packet is because in the past some residents have gotten nervous when they receive correspondence from ComEd after they have taken no action, and they just feel a little uneasy about receiving a letter from ComEd. We've included the letter that you're going to get so you know that this is simply part of the process. It's ComEd letting you know that because they didn't receive an opt-out postcard from you, that they are going to include you in the switch to the new electric supplier. And last, perhaps most importantly, there's a frequently asked questions sheet that deals with all of the hot topics that should be able to cover all of the questions that anyone may have. But to make the process smoother, there is also a hotline that's been established specifically for the Village of Wheeling. There is also a website that has been established specifically for the Village of Wheeling. I have had a number of these frequently asked questions flyers printed. They're at the end of the dais. In addition, if you go to our website, the Village's website, you will see a light bulb on the home page. If you click on that light bulb, you will see all of the information that I talked about here, all of the information that's in the packet, and hopefully answers to any of the questions that you may have. And just so that I don't get bombarded, again, the Village is not ushering this transition. We are simply notifying everyone through opportunities like this on our website. Integris is handling all of the correspondence and questions that you may have. So again, all the phone number, the website, all of that is available on our website, and the person you'll be speaking to is an Integris representative. So hopefully that will answer all of your questions. This will be a smooth process, and come everyone's June bill, you will be quite happy that we were able to make this happen for all of our residents. So I'm very proud that we've moved this forward, and this is through June of next year. So we have 13 months of savings.
Madam President. Trustee Agiris, and then Trustee Lang. Trustee Agiris.
And I'm proud of staff for taking our direction about a year ago and making the partnerships work with the neighboring communities. This is really a new precedent going on out here, and it's a great thing. And also another great thing, and that people need to know, our staff, our finance department and our staff just this past week reaffirmed with Fitch Ratings that our AAA rating still is intact. And also our Standard & Poor's also affirmed that our Village's prior rating with their firm is AA, which is also intact. After numerous conference calls this week, I understand, with Fitch and Standard & Poor's, our financial condition for our community, the results once again were positive. And you know what? Everybody should take pride in that. Not just us as elected officials, staff, the residents, and the businesses should be proud that they have a community here, because you heard the numbers before with the bonds. If we were single A or minus B or B plus, those rates would be 7, 8, 9%. So this is so huge for the taxpayers and for the community here, and I applaud staff for really being proactive and looking for innovative ways to cut the debts and do what you guys are doing, because the end result is people outside New York and everybody else is looking at that, and that's huge. So I applaud you guys. Thanks. That's all, Madam President.
Thank you. Trustee Lang.
Well, I just wanted to thank John and his staff for following through on this Integris program, because it is huge. 42% is awesome savings for us. Natural gas next.
We will approach Waste Management and ask them to approach us with a request to change the ordinance, yes. I'm sorry, I'm speaking specifically to the fill stations. As far as natural gas for heating, there's been some talk, yes.
Very good. Thank you.
Trustee here.
Thank you. John, can you put some of that information out on the cable? I mean, just the last part of what you said. Sure. Kind of a blurb out there and constantly have it replayed so people know how to get the information off of the website. Just say in reference to this, because everybody won't watch this rebroadcast and they're going to get this information. They're going to be calling the village.
Absolutely.
An easier way of getting them directed to the right source. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Last week, I believe last week Wednesday, I had the privilege of speaking to the fourth graders at Tarkington School. I should say the second graders at Tarkington School, 4 classes. And I just want to notify the trustees, if you're available on May 22nd at 9:30 here at the village along with the staff, the second graders are putting together a plan for what they think should be in the village of Wheeling. And I will tell you the one item they ask about, I'm sure will be on there, and they wanted to know why we didn't have a pet store. But they are very, very smart, and they're working very hard on this. And of course, anyone is invited, but I want to make sure that the trustees, if you would put that on your calendar, it's at 9:30 on a Tuesday morning, and then after which they are going to take a little tour of the police department and the fire department. But just so that you have that on your schedule, we would love to see you here, because it's really going to be very interesting. You have no idea what second graders have in their mind and how smart they are, and they're very smart. So do we have anything else? Otherwise, I would ask. We need to go into executive session.
No.
I'm sorry.
Pay the bills.
Approval of bills.
I haven't got it on here. Where?
Oh, I have it on mine.
That's there.
I don't have it.
It's approval of bills.
So moved.
I move it. Okay.
Here.
Want me to read it?
Sure, please.
Approval of bills for the time frame of April 12th, 2012 to May 2nd, 2012.
I always like to forget about that, but I guess we have to pay those bills. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Hein.
Second.
Second by Trustee Lang. Roll call, please.
Trustee Here?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Argyris?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Everscotto?
Yes, I guess I better keep my iPad updated so I don't miss that again. We need to go into executive session to discuss the sale of real estate owned by the village, the purchase or lease of property for the use of the village, security procedures, and the use of personnel and equipment to respond to an actual, a threatened, or reasonably potential danger to the safety of staff, the public, or public property, and pending, probable, or imminent litigation. Do I have a motion? Motion by Trustee Argyris.
Second.
Second by Trustee Lang. Have a roll call, please.
Trustee Here?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Argyris?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Everscotto?
Yes. Board will go into executive session at 8:10.